Good morning to our LinkedIn community. Another fine and beautiful morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffee with Jim and James. There was a time when I heard the term Rhino Markers, and first thing that popped in my head was my days back in the Serengeti, going to Zimbabwe. I had my Nikon 35 millimeter camera in my hand looking for that elusive rhino. Well, times have changed, and now when I think of Rhino Markers, I think of our guest today. But I'm going to allow that special privilege for James to introduce our guest. James, how are you today?
I'm well. Jim, last week I actually hit the lake this weekend. I wasn't a hypocrite for long after our last episode about sharpening the saw. I went, I sharpened, I am sharp, I'm ready. Excited to be on here with Nick today, our good friend Nick Timble from Rhino Markings. Nick, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome.
Absolutely. Nick, I didn't mention it before, but I will. Nick and I actually are newfound friends. We both attended probably the last conference we both attended before the pandemic happened at the the Damage Prevention Summit
in Galveston.
Texas.
Galveston. Yeah, we were blessed to play golf together, and we met on the golf course. And honestly, Nick outdrove me, and then he told me about how bad his shoulder was and that he was recovering from shoulder surgery. And I thought, wow, that's a great story. So we got to share a golf cart. We learned about that we both loved the big green egg, and we had little ones at home, and that we didn't travel as much as most people did. There were a lot of similarities. So kind of a neat way to connect and then immediately go into this. So when I heard that Jim was talking to you about joining our show, I was excited to reconnect with you. So welcome to the show. Do you mind, Nick, just letting everybody know what you do a little bit for Rhino?
Yeah, thank you, James. So I am a damage prevention consultant at Rhino Marking and Protection Systems, and I cover all of the U.S. and Canada. And what I do is help our customers try to come up with a real comprehensive system to protect their gas pipelines and utilities from excavation damage. So we do that by making the best damage prevention products right here in the state of Minnesota. And so pipeline markers, signs, asphalt markers, you name it. There is a tool for every job. And so that's what I do, travel across the country, do about 25. Our company does about 25 conferences a year. I'm probably half of that. And so, yeah, we've been in business since 1990, family owned and operated, same crew, just awesome company, and couldn't be happier working here at Rhino.
James, let me just connect some dots, because you and Nick got connected in Galveston, which is wonderful. And before we started to record today, my fiance popped in, Tammy Bomia, who is a long time friend of Nick. So they're having a conversation. She literally pushed me out of the seat and said, I need to talk to one of my boys, So anyways, it's just,
Jim, when I got on the call to begin recording this and doing the pre-show with Nick, Tammy was sitting down where you're sitting, and I thought I got on the wrong call. So dead on with that. Jim, why don't you catch our viewers up for those that may not be 100% sure of some of the things Nick and Rhino are doing. Why don't you sold them to me, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole a little bit when you told me what Nick and them were doing over at Rhino. And so why don't you kind of lay the groundwork for that, and then I'll cue one up after that.
All right, that sounds great. Well, when Nick and I became friends and we started to follow each other on LinkedIn and, the whole, connecting the dots, one thing that I came across is that they do these outstanding, oh so funny videos, and they're very energy related. They're very, Rhino related. but they are not, I mean, not your typical video in any way. The first one I saw, I was really like, they did that? I mean, they're awesome. They're produced, they're funny, they have a great storyline. Yeah, I can't give you enough kudos, Nick. You and your team,
Thank you.
Scott, like I saw Scott Naples, they're the CEO, I think it was earlier this year before COVID, and we talked for a long time about it. But the videos are great. James, are we going to be able to have a video in here?
We're going to go ahead and roll a clip of, I think it's about a 2-minute long video. We'll let everybody experience that. We'll come back and talk about it. So,
I'd noticed for a while that things just weren't right.
Yeah, just wasn't looking the best.
Just appearing really worn down and faded, you know?
And I wasn't communicating well. At all.
And then I discovered I was suffering from CLS.
I had CLS.
I had CLS.
My damage prevention consultant said I had a full-blown case of crappy-looking signage.
If you or a loved one have been suffering from CLS, just know that you're not alone. CLS is an affliction that affects millions all around the world every year. Some of the common side effects of CLS might include prevalent rust, faded, illegible messages, and extreme ugliness. Here at Rhino, we made it our mission to cure CLS, and that's why we developed Rhino UV Armor Signs.
I thought it was hopeless.
But that's when I heard about Rhino UV Armor Signs.
Rhino UV Armor Signs are made with superior printing technology. We can print signs with unlimited colors and unlimited shapes with no extra fees. That guarantees you that your signs will be looking better than ever.
Rhino UV Armor Signs are clinically proven to cure CLS. All Rhino-made signs come with a 10-year warranty and are protected with our proprietary coating Rhino UV Armor, which has superior UV protection. Serious and permanent side effects of Rhino UV Armor Signs will include improved visibility, elevated brand awareness, enhanced communication, increased savings, and superior resistance to fading. If you experience a Rhino UV Armor Sign lasting for more than 10 years, do not seek immediate medical attention. That's exactly what you paid for.
Now, my signs look amazing.
Now I'm communicating better than ever.
Goodbye ugly signs, hello Rhino UV Armor Signs.
If you or someone you know is suffering from CLS, please contact your Rhino damage prevention consultant. Together, we can cure crappy looking signage.
That was unbelievable. That was fantastic. One of my favorites. You in the Dr. Smock outfit, I felt like I was in one of those commercials. That was absolutely wonderful. And everybody that is tuning in, I know you're liking it. Make sure you follow Nick. Make sure you follow Rhino. See those videos. They're fantastic. James, what do you think? I think we need help. I think we could use some of their production help.
You better watch it. Amy's going to be editing this. I was immediately taken back when I found them. And then, like I said, I went down a rabbit trail a bit and really dove in. But I told Nick before this how great I thought the production was. So kudos to your folks over there for that. But tell me, Nick, a little bit, awesome video, awesome videos, because I don't even know how many y'all have at this point.
Yeah.
I've watched several. So number one, what inspired it to begin with? And secondly, how's it been being involved in it? And lastly, how's the success been, for Rhino since those come out?
Yeah, well, first, I can't really take a lot of credit for it. We have a video person. That's his job. He writes the script up, and then we provide some input. There's not much ad-libbing. It's like Saturday Night Live. Don't deviate from the script. But what happened was we did some research and found that so much of what your company's message is has been drifting towards video stuff. And there were some statistics that said, like 70% of your company's message will be broadcast on video. We're talking like the top 200 sized companies. And so, that will be communicated on video. And so we found a company we kind of consulted with and talked to, and they gave me a little lesson in acting, which I really needed. And they gave it to all of us. It was very helpful. And, we sat down and Chris and Scott and our leaders, and we just said, nobody wants to hear you talk about marker posts and signs.
No one.
It does not get much more boring than that. And if you just tried to make a video about your capabilities and oh, we make the best stuff, nobody's going to watch that. So it was like, okay, they have to be funny. They have to be edgy. If you want somebody to watch till the end, you got to keep them interested. And then if you want somebody to share it or whatever, you got to make it worth it. So, our video guy is fantastic. We actually won the best video at the CGA conference in Tampa. That was 2019.
Yep.
Thank you. That was pretty cool. I had a feeling that we were, I knew we were in the running, but some of the companies that we were up against spent some serious money on production companies to do this, and this is just us. This is the Team Rhino, and we filmed this in our office and in one of our backyards. So that video was very cool, and it promoted 811. That was the sole purpose of it.
Yeah.
If that's what happens, and it gets a few people that didn't understand the importance of that to recognize it, it's a win. So,
man, what a segue, Jim.
I know.
He set you up. He set you up with that
really
811 comment. It's like he has a script or something. He's such a good actor.
He's the best actor, right? And I want to elaborate and dig a little bit deeper in that, because we see, markers all the time.
Yeah.
And we think, caution, safety, all those things. And 811 is a very intricate part of our whole industry. What's the connecting the dots between, Rhino and 811, and how do you guys work in conjunction? What's your thought process? How do you support them? They support you. You support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been involved with excavation safety from day one. And when I started here almost 7 years ago, I started going to the Minnesota regional CGA meetings and understanding, what these guys are up against. And when I say that, I mean, how can they do a better job of promoting safe digging practices, and, and then we kind of put our heads together on our side with how we can help them. There are these massive utility companies, we're a small manufacturer, and we have different capabilities and flexibilities, that we can do things to help them. And I just feel like it's such a collaborative effort. Everybody has to chip in on it. And, I'll tell you a real quick little story. When I started at Rhino and started going to those regional CGA meetings, they had this booth set up at the state fair. And if you don't know about the Minnesota State Fair, it's gotta be top 5 in the country. I mean, as far as attendance, and
I think it's number 2 behind.
Number 2. Okay. I mean, it's a big deal. And I'm from
not a big deal, but who's number 1? What did you say?
Texas. I'm sure. Right.
It checks out.
Yeah. So, the One Call Center has a booth at the state fair. And so we would all pick a day where we would volunteer to hand out these colored yardsticks. And so the game is basically you ask them, what color pin flag represents what sort of utility, and they have to get it right, and you give them a yardstick. And I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I'm going down to do this. It's pretty cool. I can't imagine that it's going to be a lot of people. I know I don't want to give the wrong number, but I will tell you this. We had at least 10 boxes of 1,000 yardsticks.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, we were going through them so fast that it was crazy to me. And there were so many people that came by, and and you just say, hey, do you know what 811 is? Is that the information line? And it's like, nope. But that's our opportunity to educate people. So, it was kind of cool for me to see and gauge the real, level of engagement with the public and how much they knew about that stuff.
Well, I think just to jump in, it's a grassroots, it's a way of life for us in the industry. I mean, we preach it, we know it, we talk about it, but it's definitely a grassroots initiative with, especially in homeowners that have no idea. And you guys have done some great videos, actually, in the backyards, really targeting homeowners to be safe.
Yeah.
And it really is the full spectrum.
Yeah. Yep.
So Nick, we've been ending shows with this question, and I think this one's a great one for you because we see your passion in the videos, and as funny as they are, and how we make fun of ourselves a little bit to get a point across.
Yeah.
You've got to have a passion for what you do in those situations, regardless, right? So, my question today is, do you love what you do?
Yeah, I couldn't love what I do more. It's crazy. I tell my wife all the time where it's like, Hannah, how good is that? How good does it feel to know that you are doing what you are supposed to do?
Yeah.
And I tell my kids all the time, like, nobody can try hard for you, and you have the opportunity to be the best that you can be. It's up to you. And it's never been work to me, never once. I do the best that I can do because it's just natural when you care about what you're doing. And honestly, I think that has trickled down to me from our leadership at Rhino. I mean, you're just not going to find better people, and human beings that genuinely care about the industry and the other people that they work with. So it's a culture that we have, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
That's awesome.
That's what we like to hear. We haven't heard a bad one yet.
No, we haven't.
I don't know if it's just the industry or the people, but either way, it works out.
That's
right on.
good.
Yeah.
Nick, any final thought before I close out? Anything you wanted that you didn't get to cover today?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed your guys' episode with the big green egg guy.
With Matt? Yeah.
Very important that our industry saw that one.
That was good. I knew when COVID kicked off, and, I've been working from my basement since March 20th, still down here. And so when it kicked off, I knew I was going to be firing up my big green egg. I have two of them, actually. And I knew that it was going to be go time. So I ordered like a pallet of charcoal to be delivered. And because I didn't know what to expect, I didn't know if everybody else was thinking the same thing. So I was like, I'm just doing it. It isn't going to go bad, so I had this pallet of charcoal delivered, and I went for it. I think I put my COVID 15 pounds on in the first 60 days for sure. I was doing briskets and shoulders and you name it. And my wife was like, you need to chill out a little bit. So, but I appreciated that episode. That was cool.
That's good. I will have to say that you and James absolutely need to have more conversations about cooking. James,
I think we're kind of kindred spirits. Like we may be long lost brothers, or maybe I just saw Nick at that conference and he told me about having two big green eggs, and I was like, I want to be Nick when I grow up. So I started growing my hair out the same. And you
guys, with the beards and the head, I'm telling you, I can see that. Maybe you guys.
I'm just the more worn out, gave up version of Nick.
Well, okay. Well, when you meet Nick in person, he stands about 7'8". He has shoulders about the size of a building. And as Tammy, my fiance, says, "Oh, he's just a teddy bear. He's good." She calls you that all the time.
That's good.
Wait,
Yeah.
we won't say that on the air because people don't want to know that you're a teddy bear. But anyway, no, we are going to leave that
That's
in.
okay. That's all right with me. Yeah.
You are. You're a great person. You're
Right
a
on.
great friend, a great industry colleague, and your passion for helping us all be safer. You and Scott, the whole team, Chris, everybody is well recognized. And I will say on behalf of James and I, we so much appreciate you coming on the show today. It's great to spend a little time just cutting back and having some fun. And hopefully we've inspired at least one person to do something a little bit safer with their markers and their markings and all that, take another look at it. And I'll say this, that, always look at it with fresh eyes. Just because you've seen that marker there for 10 years and you can't read it anymore, that might be a time to say, hey, let's call Rhino and let's get a new marker in here or something like that. So
really true. Really true. With COVID, it was kind of crazy. The first couple of months, all the spur of activity happened, and it was because, a lot of the projects got sidelined or postponed.
Yep.
There weren't as many one-call tickets, and so a lot of the guys that are out maintaining that sort of stuff now all of a sudden had the time that was really necessary to do it. And so that was kind of a good thing, it's not all, doom and gloom. So yeah, I'm with you on that for sure, Jim.
Yeah. And you mentioned there's always blessings that come out of things. And those are some good things that have come out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, we appreciate it so much. We can't thank you enough for all of you do for the industry, for spending the time with us today. We encourage the LinkedIn community to please connect with Nick, connect with Rhino, follow them, see some of these funny videos, do the safe things, do the right things, keep the fresh set of eyes, all the things. And I know Nick, just like us, he loves to talk. So if you have a question, hit him up on LinkedIn. I'm sure, prepare for a good 20-minute conversation if you do have a voice call.
That's right.
Until then, for James and Nick and myself, we appreciate everybody in the LinkedIn community to join us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, follow everybody. If you're interested in being on Coffee with Jim and James, let us know. We love to have guests all the time, and we can't thank you enough. Until next week, please be safe. God bless you. God bless our industry. And everybody, please stay safe. Take care, and we will see you in the future.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Be safe.
Always,
Thanks,
Nick. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.